Hello and welcome to Cavs Daily, your one-stop shop for everything Cavalier related. The good, the bad, the ugly, the frustrating, the tea, the inconsequential, whatever it is, this is the place to talk about it. I'm your host, Paul Williams. Appreciate you guys being here today as I hit you with another banger and we get over the tough loss in Miami last night and look ahead while also highlighting a certain player that has been doing a lot for us and deserves his flowers. If you could, before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Engage with us as we take this journey, talking Cavs basketball every single day. With all the fun stuff out the way, let's get to the first topic of the day, which is before we totally bury and move on from that tough Heat loss last night, we do have to talk about it a little bit more. Feel like I was kind of in my feelings last night directly after the game when I recorded the video breaking down the game. So I wanted to just look at it now with a day to kind of sleep on it and get over it. And honestly, I still feel pretty shitty about it. But I can also see some good we could take from it, even if it's taking good from some things that were really bad. And that starts with the play of the game, the play that lost us the game, the alley-oop to Andrew Wiggins with .4 seconds left in overtime, right after the Cavs tied the game on a miraculous three-point shot from Donovan Mitchell. I mean, there's not really too much to say about the play besides we dang sure better learn from it, and that should never happen again, even though, honestly, it should never happen in an NBA game, period. I went back and rewatched the play numerous times, and for the life of me, first of all, I can't understand why we had guys like Donovan Mitchell even on the court, Sam Merrill. It was unnecessary. Coming out of a timeout, we could have and should have definitely put in more size, more length, and more defensive versatility. And then watching the play over, seeing guys fight through screens and seeing Dean Wade follow the guy he was guarding to the half-court line, it just made no sense at all. Pack the freaking paint. If they're going to hit a fadeaway three-point tip shot with .4 seconds on the clock, you live with that. You live with anything besides an alley-oop or a dunk or a tip shot at the rim. Those are just the few things that can't happen in that situation. Let the Heat beat us in any other miraculous way, and we just take it and move on. But hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know if Kenny Atkinson never got ejected, we wouldn't have been in that situation anyway, because I don't think he would have had, honestly, Jalen Tyson taking those big free throws at the end of regulation. He probably wouldn't have called the timeout right before Evan Mobley hit a game-tying three with 8 seconds left in the first overtime. And there was just a lot of decisions that I think if Atkinson was still around, the game would have played out a lot differently. I did watch the post-game with Atkinson talking about why he felt the need to take that stand and let the refs know how he felt. The biggest thing that he pointed out was the third quarter free throw disparity, where at the time of his ejection, the Miami Heat had shot 20 free throws while the Cavs had shot 2 free throws. And while the Cavs have definitely not done themselves any favors as far as sending opponents to the free throw line with lazy defense, there were some questionable calls in that quarter, and I just don't see how there could ever be that big of a discrepancy. I mean, it's not like the Heat just have all these guys that just penetrate and attack so hard that it's normal and expected for them to go to the line that much. But at the end of the day, we just have to be better and have to keep ourselves from those close calls or from those bad calls even happening by playing cleaner, more fundamentally sound defense. And that's something I think we will grow into as the season goes on. looking back at some of the stats from last night's game, there were some good things that I saw. To me, Donovan Mitchell played his worst game of the season. He shot just 10 for 28 from the field, 3 of 16 from the three-point line, and he almost finished with the most ridiculous triple-double you'll ever see from Donovan Mitchell. He had 28 points, 15 rebounds, Cavs high since he's been in Cleveland, and 8 assists. So he finishes 2 assists shy of a triple-double in what was his worst game of the year. And he hit the big fadeaway three-pointer with 0.4 seconds left that should have sent it to the second overtime. So if that's the worst Donovan we're going to get, I think we can live with it. But he clearly wasn't himself last night. And honestly, none of the guys were. We had some guys put up pretty solid numbers. DeAndre Hunter had 23, 4, and 4, and he's just been solid all season long. Evan Mobley had a double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Jared Allen had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Only played 21 minutes, did not see the floor after the third quarter, which kind of had me scratching my head. At the very least, I think we could have got him in to a few defensive situations that might have been able to help change the game for the Cavs, but that's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. Jared Allen has long been a guy that isn't in closing lineups a lot of the time for the Cavaliers, but to not play 1 minute in the fourth quarter or overtime, it's a bit alarming and something we're going to have to keep our eyes on for sure. And the Cavs took 65 three-pointers against the Heat last night, which is just a ridiculous number and way too many. They didn't shoot it that well either, shooting just 32% from three, making 21 of the 65. And we're going to talk about that more in the final segment of today's episode. But yeah, just a tough game overall for the Cavs. And honestly, we were lucky to even be in the game. We didn't play well, and that seems to always happen when you fly into Miami a day early. And lo and behold, the Cavs got there on Sunday and will be in Miami until Wednesday night. So just a scary setup as it is, as most road teams in Miami seem to be a little sluggish for some reason or another. Can't quite put my finger on that. And the Cavs were no exception last night. And now the Cavs play the Heat again on Wednesday. And after seeing the injury report, I don't know how to feel. I mean, I'm scrambling to think of what our starting lineup may look like. The Cavs will be without Darius Garland, who re-aggravated his toe injury. There still hasn't been a real update outside of he will miss the game against the Heat on Wednesday. The Cavs will also be without Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley due to rest purposes. Larry Nance is questionable. Jalen Tyson is out with a concussion. And yeah, the Cavs are going to be clearly very, very short-handed. They also may be without other guys, but that's just what we have reported so far. For sure, Donovan's out, Evan's out, DG's out, and Jalen Tyson is out. And of course, Max Strus is still out recovering from his injury. So look for some very interesting lineups in the game against the Heat on Wednesday. Who knows? Maybe some of the rarely used players will come out with a chip on their shoulder and something to prove. And I do think the Cavs have a good enough system, and they're so well coached that they still have a chance to win a game even without numerous all-stars and numerous starters playing in the game for them. And maybe this is a chance for Jared Allen to make a case to get back in the good graces of the coaching staff, because the vibes aren't great with Jared Allen right now, and seeing him sitting out the entire fourth quarter and overtime yesterday just felt a little off, and I hope there's not too much more to it, but for sure in the game on Wednesday against the Heat, he will get a lot of opportunity And I'm hoping for his sake that he can take advantage and start to build some positive momentum going forward. Now, a guy that doesn't need to build any positive momentum, he just needs to keep the positive momentum going, is Jalen Tyson. Tyson honestly has been a revelation for the Cavs so far this season. He's appeared in every game, starting 7 of them, averaging just below 27 minutes per game. He's scoring 11 points per game to go along with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, over a steal, and just under a block a game. He's playing very, very good defense. The one knock is he's averaging nearly 4 fouls a game, and if you watch the actual games, it's apparent. If there's one bugaboo of Tyson's early season so far, it has been fouling. And it's not like it's because he gets beat all the time or he just doesn't have like the athleticism to stay in front of his man. He definitely does. It's more about discipline when it comes to Tyson committing fouls. And it's kind of sometimes just being a bit lazy on defense, which isn't saying he plays lazy most of the time, because he doesn't. One of the best things about Tyson has been his energy and his willingness to go after those loose balls, get on the floor, get those 50-50 balls, get offensive rebounds, tip the ball to a teammate to keep a possession going. There were numerous times in the Heat game last night, as well as the Bulls game a couple nights ago, where the Cavs probably don't win the game without the hustle of Jalen Tyson, getting them extra possessions and extra opportunities on the offensive end. He's knocking down his threes at a 46% clip, shooting nearly 5 of them a game. If he can stay around 40% three-point shooting and close to 49% from the field where he's at right now, I think the Cavs have found a gem and a guy that is going to be a very, very big piece for this organization for a long time coming. And he's going to be a key guy that can help extend this championship contending window for the Cavs. We still have him on the rookie deal, and his next contract shouldn't break the bank. So Tyson has really been a revelation for this Cavaliers team. And despite a lot of frustrations early in this season with some outcomes and some tough losses like the Heat loss, Jalen Tyson has been a huge, huge bright spot for this Cavs team, and we just need to give him his flowers right now. And I'm excited to see how he can continue to grow after a couple not slow games, but a couple quiet games offensively to start the year. He had a streak where he scored at least 10 in 6 straight, had 9 against the Heat, which ended that streak, but still, he's been playing great basketball, and he's been a huge piece of this Cavs team, and honestly, he's been one of our 4 or 5 best players so far this season. So salute to you, Tyson. Keep it up. We see you, and we're rocking with you. Now, to wrap up the show today, we just need to talk a bit about the Cavs three-point shooting. We, just like last year, are known as a three-point shooting team, and that's not a bad thing. We were the best three-point shooting team last season. Hasn't been the case so far this year, even though we're shooting by far the most three-pointers in the league. As I mentioned earlier, 65 attempts from 3 in the Miami Heat game. We've had numerous games where we've shot at least 50. I attempted 57. I believe it was the 76ers game. And overall, we're averaging 47 three-point attempts per game as a team. That is number 1 in the league by a huge amount. The second closest team shoots 42 three-pointers a game. So the Cavs clear the second highest three-point volume shooting team in the league by 5 threes a game, which is a crazy number. And unlike last year, we're not hitting them at a historic or top of the league rate. We're actually pretty league average, right around 36% from 3 right now. We have numerous guys, I believe 7 guys shooting, attempting at least 5 three-pointers a game. Donovan is shooting 10 three-pointers a game. Mobley shooting 5 a game. DeAndre Hunter shooting over 8 a game. Sam Merrill shooting over 8 a game. Darius Garland in his couple of games has gotten up over 6 3-pointers. And both Jalen Tyson and Lonzo Ball are just a tick below 5 3-point attempts a game. So it's a lot. And I don't think we need to stray from that identity too much. But when you're getting the second highest percent of your points from the 3-point line, and you're at the bottom of the league in points in the paint, and in 2-point field goals made, I think we can find a bit of a better balance. The Cavs did break the all-time record for most consecutive games with at least 10 3-pointers made. We broke it with our 11th 3 made in the game against the Miami Heat, which gave us 98 straight games making at least 10 3-pointers. That dates all the way back to the end of the 2023-24 season. And like I said, it's part of our identity and part of our DNA. But I do think we could find a little more balance, especially when the shot just isn't falling. We have to be able to also sometimes rely on getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, which we're just not doing right now. We're being dominated with free throws attempts against our opponents in every game, and we're not shooting very well when we do get to the free throw line. So I just think the Cavs need to kind of take a bit of a step back on 3-point or nothing type offense that we've been running for a while now, and maybe sometimes build from the inside out, make teams respect us in the paint and respect what we are willing to do, going to the rack, drawing fouls, and use that to help open up some cleaner looks from 3. I feel like we take a lot of contested 3-point shots because we have a lot of good shooters, and the NBA and our reputation, it's known that we want to get up as many 3-point shots as we can. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing or something we need to panic about, but it is something to keep our eye on, and I do think we can find a bit of a better happy medium and maybe just cut back a little bit. We could still lead the league in 3-point. We can take 4 less 3-pointers per game and still lead the league in 3-point attempts per game. So I think there's a way we can still keep our identity of a 3-point shooting team, but also put the focus a bit more on getting to the paint sometimes and getting some easier, cleaner looks. With that, we're going to wrap up today's episode. If you're still with me, I really appreciate you guys always rocking with me. If you can, subscribe, like, comment. Let me know where I was right and where I was wrong in this video. And we'll be back with another banger tomorrow when we'll be going over whatever happens in our game against the Miami Heat. Till then, thank you guys again, and I hope you have a wonderful night.